Greetings, everyone. We're happy to be back. Sorry for absence the past couple of weeks. It is my fault. I've been busy. So it's not anybody else's fault here but mine. That said, we're going to get into this week's action. Like Rob said, Rob's already talked about NBA. He's over it already. So I guess we can start with you, Bears fan guy.
Yeah, yes, if that's the right thing to do, then we can do that. It's fine.
I figured you wanted to get it out the way.
Nah, I do. I really do. So, I don't know, man. Like it's so much going on out here with Chicago and these Bears. I don't even know really where to start. So the offense comes out. They have actually a good game. I'm not gonna say great. It was a good game. We put up more than 17 points. Surprising. But the defense can't seem to do anything right at this point. And I really feel like the defense quit on Nagy. Not last week, the week before last. He called him out a little bit. And as a head coach, I get it, frustration and all that. But that was the only side of the ball that was actually doing its job the entire season. And I really feel like these guys quit. I really do. Because looking at these games the last 2 weeks, I'm going, we can't tackle no more. We can't stop at the red zone. Like, we can't do none of this stuff. I get it. Green Bay is great. At least they're a great regular season team right now. Okay, fine. But the Lions, I know the Lions can score. I know that. Matt Stafford has a knack for doing that. But really? 34 points? Like, I saw a lot of things in that game where I looked and I said, oh, it's coaching again. That makes sense. Why are we not running the ball on 3rd and 4? The run game's been working all game long. Montgomery had 11 carries, I think, for like 55 yards in the first half. And then all of a sudden, second half, he only had 6 carries to finish out the game. What are we doing? It's 3rd and 4. You're winning the game. You need to bleed the clock out. So we drop Mitch back in the most uncomfortable space where he is, which is in the middle of the pocket. And then we expect Fetty to do his job, which he's not good at. He's not. And so you're relying on these guys to do things that they are not capable of doing. That's coaching. Those are adjustments that had to be made before the game. Like, we know. Like, I believe it was Nagy that said one of the biggest things with Mitch, as far as why he was benched, was because he is not good in the pocket. So what you did was say, let me put him in the pocket. I think he got it. I think he figured it out. And then you put him in a bad space. Like, I know we joke around about Maserati Mitch and all that, man, but Mitch actually had a decent game. I'm not putting that on Mitch. I cannot put that on Mitch. Should he protect the ball better? Should he have better awareness? Sure. But why would you put him in a situation where you know he's not going to succeed? I don't understand it. Montgomery's the type of running back that you have to lather him up, man. You have to continue to give him carries and feed him. And that's when he's going to start to explode. And actually, he's been doing that in spite of Nagy giving him the ball. He's been pretty good the last few games that he's been back. And he still won't give him the ball. At the end of last season, I want to say middle of the last season, Matt Nagy came out and said that I know I need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot. Well, guess what? You look like a pretty big idiot right now, bro. I can't wrap my mind around what's going on. So right now, I'm in the spot as a fan where I was with the Bulls a couple years ago when they hired Jim Boylan. First thought in my mind when they said Jim Boylan, I was like, wait a minute, we already had him and we fired him. Why are we hiring him again? Oh, no, it's a new Jim Boylan that can't coach just as bad. Great. How about I'm not watching y'all until y'all figure this out? Because clearly it's a mess in the front office. The decision making that's being made right now, the decisions that are being made right now are awful. Awful. When it comes down to the coaching staff, it comes down to the weapons that you need on the field, the contracts that we have. Robert Quinn, I don't even know who he is anymore. Like, this dude hasn't done anything all year. How much are they paying him? You don't have to answer that rhetorical question. Bottom line is, we know how much he paid. They blasted when that contract come out. They say, "Hey, he got a lot of money coming to him. He better show up." I'm still waiting for him to show up. I saw a breakdown after the game with the post game show, the guys from NBC Sports, and they had a couple plays where they circled Robert Quinn in one-on-ones, and he can't win them. You getting paid too much to be able to win a one-on-one versus a tight end. A tight end? Come on, man. Like that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Hakeem Hicks has been out. He's been in and out of the lineup the last few games. We don't have any depth to cover his ass. And so now we're just putting guys out there praying, hey, can you at least attempt to try to maybe trip somebody? And maybe we'll be okay. You can't expect these corners and these DBs to just be covering these guys for that long because they're not getting any pressure. Like it's so many different things that I'm seeing, man, and it's very disappointing as a fan. But just as a person being objective, this is a very bad football team. Very bad football team. That 5-1 was such a fluke, and I know I told y'all I was riding the wave. I drowned. I don't know if y'all knew. I drowned, man. That wave came up, smacked me right to the left side of my face, man. Next thing you know, I'm at the bottom looking at the coral reefs. I don't know what to do anymore. So I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna just watch the rest of everybody's teams and pray that they don't look as bad as us, so we can get a better draft pick than what we have right now. Because that's all we have to look forward to, and we're gonna trade that away anyway. We don't like draft picks in Chicago. We give those away like that, hotcakes. I'm done.
I know a guy from the area that would love to come home. Just saying, I know.
I'm sure. I'm sure,
he would love to come home.
But no, it's just a bad product, man. It's hard to watch. Even if you're not a fan of the Bears, if that's the only game on TV, you're going to watch college basketball of its own instead. Guaranteed.
Well, shout out to the men's basketball team. Give y'all something to be proud of to make up for the the Bears. So that's
what
a good thing.
Basketball team?
Illinois. Good God.
Oh, Illinois. I thought you talking about that's still under construction. I'm not ready for them yet either.
I saw about the good team in the state.
Oh, yes. Shout out to Illinois. Shout out to Illinois. They definitely
like one of them. There's nothing else to be proud of. Sorry, people from that area. I mean it. NFC East. So which one do you guys want to go first?
I'll go first. I'll be brief. You know what, man? There's a lot of they got a lot of injuries, but the problem is the guys making the mistakes aren't backups. The backups aren't playing that bad. Defense, the guys that are messing up on deep, when you give up 300 yards rushing, those guys, those ain't rookies. Those ain't injured players. Those aren't backups. Those are the guys making the money. So they're going to be there. Say whether it's Smith, Van Der Esch, Lawrence, the whole D-line, that's him. He gave 300 yards rushing yesterday. So at what point, whether it's coaching, whether it's players, at some point, they've quit. That's what's embarrassing. It's not the point of talent because we can blame Dalton, but Dalton's not playing that bad. The third-string offensive tackle, fourth-string offensive tackle, they're holding their own. Pollard's playing okay. The receivers aren't bad. So the issue is they're not competing. That's what's embarrassing. You got a team, your owner that shows his face nonstop. You got an old coach, an old defensive coordinator, and we're getting bullied. A team that's been getting bullied. And it's not, you can't say they're just bad at run because we played passing teams and they passed on us. We played run teams, they ran on us. It doesn't matter who they're using. It just speaks for a team that doesn't care. The Giants don't have any talent. They win. So by just showing up and competing, you should be able to go 8-8 or 7-9. This is a team that doesn't compete. And we could say Dak's not there, but they was losing when Dak was there. So it kind of just speaks to, like I said, it's hard to watch because you got guys getting bullied. You got guys running the wrong way. You're not, did you see the play of Van Der Esch? It's embarrassing. Lamar ran left, Van Der Esch ran right, and he was in the hole. He had to play and turned around and went the other way, and Lamar went 40 yards for a touchdown. It's just a team, whether they don't like the coaches or they don't listen, it's discipline, it's heart, no one wants to call a pro athlete soft. But as a team, it's showing itself. You're in the worst division ever, and you're in last in it. You know what I mean? You're in the worst division ever, and you're the worst team in that division. So at least, you know what? Do us a favor. We found out a few guys who could play. Pollard can play a little bit. You know, you got some good receivers. Let's just lose out. You know, prep ourselves for next season. I'm not going to be angry. We just keep losing. You know, lose, high draft pick. You know, and you know that's all it is. That's what I'm here for. You know.
There's a theme here.
There's a theme.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can't all lose every game.
Right.
Why not?
Fighting over draft picks.
Why? Why not? There's no rule against this. Why not?
I think we
but nah, I understand what he's saying. It was like, even if you're gonna end up taking L's, we know what you're in after you lose. And this was also a reminder to everybody who thought Dak wasn't really anything. Dak was out here hiding. I mean, he didn't hide this from Justin. Justin's been pointing at this for quite a while, but he had a whole lot of the warts that this team has. And while everyone was busy talking bad about him, you remove him, that's an ugly roster.
Yeah.
That's a really ugly roster, especially when you think about the people that are getting paid. Like you said, the dudes in the front seven are healthy. 300? 300? Your linebackers are healthy, supposedly. They're healthy.
Right.
300. Like, that's, yeah. Like you said, there's one thing if somebody came out and bombed on y'all for like 400 yards and be like, all right, secondary ain't really hitting on anything. Cool. Maybe the pass rush ain't get there, but you played a team with Greg Roman as offense coordinator. You knew they wasn't throwing the ball, but 7 times. That's like 5 times more than Greg Roman wants to throw it. So you knew they wasn't. You knew what was coming. We all knew what was coming.
Lamar had 100 yards passing. 100 yards passing.
100 yards passing. That's tough.
And you gave up 34 points.
And the crazy part is, I would love to sit here and talk about the oh so diverse run game they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like 7 things.
Yeah, look at Gus Edwards has 7 for 105 yards or something like that. Gus, he's 4th string. He only run the plunge or the halfback plunge from the old video games. He only run up the middle. He don't do nothing else.
And that's the sad part. They bringing the backs in, and if we know what's coming, depending on when the backs in the game, we can process elimination. Just pretty much decipher. Oh, this is outside. If JK's in, we might be might be throwing out to the flats. We're doing some outside because JK in. Like you said, Gus is in. Oh man, whatever it is, this power is something. It's something between the tackles. It's something fit. You know where it's going. If we got to get out there, man, y'all watching tape. Y'all getting paid.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Are they really watching tape? And if they're watching tape, then they need a whole new coaching staff. They don't know. They can't figure that out because, like you said, we are supposedly the casual fan, and we see that. Yeah. Y'all get paid to see that stuff.
Right.
That's unacceptable, man.
Nah, definitely. Oh, man. On to another NFC East team. Sir, okay. I'm ready for this one.
So is Rob talking about, he was riding the wave and trying to go up and down with the situation. For me, it was more like a tsunami. It felt like I was on vacation, and I was, I just got there for a quick second, and early in the season, I was like, hey, why is the water going away from us? And I was watching this really big wave happen. Injuries, bad football play, bad coaching call, bad play by receivers, people getting hurt, people can't separate. Like, it became this big deluge of water that just fell on me at once. And I just kept saying, this is okay. We'll be okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. But no, it's a bad football team all around. It just really is. I was talking about earlier, and we were saying that somebody should go into Indianapolis and walk up to Frank Reich and be like, hey, how much is it going to take? How much money is it going to take to get you back here? Because at a certain, I've been saying it for a while. Frank Reich was a key piece to that team working. I mean, everybody looked great, looked better than they were, and I think a lot of that was key to not only the scheme but the play calling in certain situations. One thing that separates Bill Belichick from a lot of other coaches is situational football, and that's one thing Frank Reich is really good at. he can look at it because there was one. It was a 2nd and 18 that Philadelphia ran, and they ran a play action fake as if anybody's gonna bite on the run on a 2nd and 18. Like I mentally couldn't understand. Like, what are you guys doing? So watching Carson all of a sudden realize like he's overstriding, his feet are all over the place. I can't even watch that anymore. But knowing that at a certain point, a lot of this is just there's a ton of pieces that are issues. For some reason, everybody's saying it's all Carson, and we're gonna stick a kid in that A started yet, B versus the Saints defense, and C. I think we already know what he did in Oklahoma, so it may look better for a certain point, but it's not going to be what everybody thinks it's going to be. So I'm just hoping for a good draft pick. I'm right with y'all. I'm just looking for a good draft pick.
Yeah, y'all are interesting to me because you do have 2 talented quarterbacks, and my whole thing is like, yeah, Jalen did come in. I'm interested to see what if the play calling changes, or like if there's not changes, but if there's a better feel with Jalen under center than it is with Carson, because clearly Doug can't call plays for Carson. Like that's a given. That's what we like. That's something that is like a definitive thing. You have no feel for calling anything for Carson, right? So I want to see if having Jalen in there, does it take the pressure off? Maybe having Jalen in there, because Frank hasn't had There's not a precedent for anything that's been done with Jalen yet because he hasn't played, right? And then the other thing, low-key, you remember what, like, back in the draft, we all made a big deal, and I'm just like everybody as a whole about Matt LaFleur choosing to take Jordan Love or whatever, right, for the Packers. I feel like the bigger issue should have been made about this in Philly, and it wasn't like everybody instantly, squashed it because, Carson was here or whatever, which at that time, that's fine, no issues. But at the same time, coming back to revisit it, it wasn't that this was kind of like Doug's opportunity to be like, well, at least like if I'm interested to see what happens if he puts Jalen in a good position to succeed, because then like that's his out to kind of keep his job. Like, well, this is my guy. Look what I did with my guy. So I want to see if this is really your guy, how much does it change? Does the play calling instantly is it that much like different than it is for Carson? Because you had no feel for it. Like, was that really Frank's guy? Technically, I guess, since Frank knew the buttons to push and how to operate it, he had instructions manual. Clearly, he didn't leave it for you because you broke it. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Like, I know with the stories about the Saints defense, yada yada yada, whatever. I don't care. Jalen's going to be annoying to them. The Saints they're like that dog that's on the short leash that barks really loud, but like when you get near it, they just want their belly rubbed. Like, I'm not tripping off the Saints. I don't really care. I just don't care at all. And then the other thing with Jalen was, for all year we heard, Jalen Rager's a bust, all this other stuff. Quarterback changed, and all of a sudden Jalen Rager's involved. So like now, and again, that's why I just want to see, because now a lot of teams hit on wide receivers this year. A lot of teams. It's just about the position that they put themselves in. So if Jalen kind of show out for the rest of this year, I know everybody talk about, oh man, you can't move him, whatever, man. Dude getting moved. It's just a matter of how much somebody else want him, and for what.
One thing to say about Hurts is Hurts actually in the pocket looked a little more decisive as far as what to do.
Yep.
There was one thing that he had gotten out of the pocket in a couple of plays where I'm seeing Carson either lock onto a receiver or hold the ball too long, or he's seen at a certain point like, I got to run, I got to get out, I got to move. A lot of times the quarterbacks are moving, especially towards their right hand or towards whatever the dominant hand may be. It cuts the field off for them, and they make a better decision because it's now just one part of the field. That dime was in the back of the end, right board, and that was a perfect example. He rolled out, and it just cut the. There's no more. Either I run it or I make a pass, and that was it. And he looked great doing it. Carson has a problem even doing that. And I think that's a part of the issue, but I don't think that's the whole issue. And I think that's the problem I have with a lot of people thinking about, as far as the situation with Carson.
And I think the other thing, just kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, Jalen also got the opportunity where they got to like program him quietly, right?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't 2 programs and then him trying to figure out, I got to take that away from the old program and then put the new stuff in it and integrate it. Jalen got he had nothing to do with Frank. So this is just like ideally almost, and how we looked last time. I said I'm interested to see how it plays out. Like you're almost you got programmed a little bit better, like specifically for Doug's offense versus whatever it changed from Frank's to Doug, and where Carson's struggling with it because half of it is he just doesn't look decisive, and some of it could just he's not comfortable with the crap that they're calling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where everyone's making a indictment, and we saw even when they didn't have, they had different pieces with Frank. Man, that ball was getting pushed downfield. Where with Jalen, it looks like this is more college style or whatever. Whereas quick things out on perimeter or whatever. Even then, I think they're throwing to the wrong people on the perimeter. But another story, another day or whatever. I just think Jalen's more comfortable with it. But again, he's been here behind the scenes the entire time to get acclimated to it. Where Carson's kind of like he got programmed by two different people. Yeah. And clearly, we saw like he was peaking with the initial programming. Took that one away and it crashed. Like it's a whole virus. It crashed. I don't know. Justin or Rob, your thoughts on that though?
Go ahead, Justin.
I was gonna say let's hope. Let's hope. I just I've noticed with that team is they don't adjust. I mean, you got Sanders has a style of run, Boston Scott has a style of run, and it doesn't matter. Whoever's in, that's what they're running. Alshon Jeffrey is playing receiver. Then you go get a bunch of small receivers, and they're running the same routes as Alshon Jeffrey. Like there's something to, Rager, the player Rager is. The way he just steps in and runs that pump back, and yet somehow he's not getting screens. He's not getting bubble. Like it says something about the staff. You're picking these people. I'm not picking them. So if I know watching TCU that this is what he does, you picked him in the first round in front of Jefferson, and you got the kid looking because you're using him to his strengths. Hey, he's not a polished route. Like you knew that, and you didn't have the whole off season to train him the way you want it. So let's just put the ball in his hands. We're struggling offensively anyway. Let's hope. I guess on the bright side, you'll say is they probably haven't put an offense in for Hurts, like a separate offense. Hopefully, he's just going to run a quarterback offense. Don't make him try. Don't try to make him into Taysom Hill. Like let him play quarterback. And what's in Hurts saying his defense, or to speak like to know that he's going to show up this week, is Hurts doesn't panic. Like this is a calm dude. Like he won't be sped up. If you watch him, he looks like the type of dude. No matter what's happening, he's playing at his speed. So that's when he came in that game. He didn't freak out. Maybe it may lead to some fumbles from being kind of methodical, but he's playing his game. So that's like they said about Dak. Same thing. They play their game. They had to have their flaws, ups and downs, but they stay on their level. And that speaks to him coming as a freshman and having the success he had. And maybe hopefully that'll at least allow them to see what they have around him, whatever that means, whether it's his team or Carson's team, but he's going to at least use the weapons around him.
And I was going to kind of say the same thing as far as the adjustments part of that conversation, where these coaches, I don't feel like they don't make the proper adjustments, and it's like they have this vision in their mind of this is what I'm going to run. I know this is going to work. These are the guys I need for it. Oh, I don't have them. That's okay. It's still going to work.
Right.
No, it's not. It's not going to work. Because that guy don't look like the guy that you want. He's not 6'5" or 5'10" with a 4.2 40. You don't have that. So you have to make adjustments to what you have. I see it in the Bears all the time. I'm looking at that like, hey, you don't have that Kansas City offense, dude. You need to adjust to what you have in your backfield or on your receiver slot. Those are the weapons that you have. Make the proper adjustments for that. And that's what I see with a lot with Philly, is that they don't make the adjustments to the personnel they actually have. So it's kind of amazing, man, because the same issue, it's coaching.
Right.
It's coaching. It's like we're finding these guys, they pull them into these positions and they're hot for a little bit, and then they start to fizz out. And it's because they don't know how to make those adjustments. And that's a big deal in the NFL, because once teams start doing their homework and going, oh, got it, I see it now, and they figure it out, you can't adjust to that. That's a problem.
Right.
You get paid too much money to be sitting there going, no, it'll work. Do it again. What? No, it don't work like that. We don't do that in Little League. We see a problem, and we have to make the adjustment to say, all right, we got to get somebody else in that safety because little Roro can't do it no more. He just can't do it no more, man. So yeah, that's the adjustment thing. That's a big deal. I think it's a bigger deal than what people are actually making it out to be. Like I don't really hear that happening or that conversation so much. But I'm like, you don't have the pieces that he wants in order to run this offense that he has. So we'll see. I got a lot of faith in Jalen. I think Jalen's gonna be all right. I said this a couple weeks ago. They need to go ahead and put him in and go ahead and start him because they needed some type of pick me up. They needed some type of pick me. You don't want to lose the locker room, and you're on the verge of losing that locker room if you didn't make some type of change because Carson looked like a deer in headlights out there at times. There were things that he did, and I said, "What? I could have did that."
Right.
My son did that. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's what's playing to be doing that, bro. You know, we'll see.
I will say this though about the defense side of the ball: the linebackers are playing better, and I'm not saying that Nathan Gary's injury was a plus or that it was a situation it helped, but I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying as soon as my man went to IR, it was like, hey, we got some other dudes back here that can ball. Why don't we try to put them out there? And everybody decided to play better. I'm not saying he's trash, but I'm just saying he's not good.
Oh man, that was a really nice way. So I'll go ahead and say it. They got better with him not being out there. Wish him a speedy recovery. He shouldn't have been out there to begin with. Clearly, if you had other people on the roster that if they step in and you don't miss it, what was the reasoning for putting him there to begin with? Don't know what you saw, but cool story. Stop it. Bad decision. Really horrible. Like somebody on that staff was grinning this week like, I told y'all, my man, I told you he should have been playing. Like, somebody, like, it's probably the LB coach, like, I told y'all dude should have been started. I ain't saying I told y'all in training camp or draft day, but, you know, hey, we're here now. But that's my guy. Let the record show that was my guy. All right, I'll get this over real quick. Played the Bills. Lost to the Bills. You know, everybody, all I kept hearing was, oh, there's no pass rush. Couldn't get to Josh Allen. So, cool story. When a quarterback moves off his spot and starts moving around, it does in fact mean that you did get pressure. What that also means is you could not get to him because he moved off said spot. So yes, I understand everybody. They continue to kick a defensive line that's clearly missing all the juice. There was a reason that they spent a second overall pick on an edge rusher. This is the same story we saw in 2018 where you had 70,000 different versions of defensive tackles and nobody on the edge. You didn't have closers on the edge. And that's what they're missing. Like, but that was one of the things that irritated me the last like 24 hours. Oh man, they never got to him. No, they got to him quite a bit. It's Josh Allen is athletic, he's comfortable, and just what you talk about with Jalen Hurts being calm. Josh has really gotten better at that. Early, he used to spaz when you get pressure initially. He's calm. He's like, oh man, they're not gonna get me. It's really interesting what happens when you go get somebody, a number one wide receiver, how easy and comfortable. Like you can't cover my guy, so whatever happens, look for Diggs. Or I don't know who. Oh, you're missing your slot corners. So Cole Beasley's going to be open 4 quarters. Cool. I get pressure. That's going to be fine. Oh, you're in zone all day. Easy pickings. So I wasn't mad about the defense. Obviously, you would have liked them to play better. But again, we're in a wide 9 without the edge people. It's what you expect. I'm so sorry. I love Kerry Hyder to death. It's a really good story. I'm happy he's had a big year, but there's levels to everything, and there's a big difference between Kerry Hyder and the Bosa, or Kerry Hyder and a Ford. There's levels to this, especially with edge rushers in this league. Then offensively, I know everyone's like, I keep seeing some. You got the Nick Mullins apologist out here, where they look at the yards and it's so great to talk about it. Whatever, like. I'll say this, and it hurts me every week. Brian Baldinger ends up doing a breakdown, and I'm getting it's it hurts my soul every week he does a breakdown of wide receivers on that team getting open, not getting the ball because they can't get the ball to them. And it's the other craziest thing. You taking Debo Samuels and paying him to a corner like no disrespect to Kadero Patterson, seriously, and making it like he's just a gadget guy. No, he's a gadget guy right now because they have a deficiency at one of the most important positions in the league. We're watching the same offense being run in Green Bay. I know Aaron didn't like it at first. He likes it this year, right? That offense, everybody open. It's kind of like easy, young coach. Oh, my bad, coach. This what you saw about? I like this stuff.
Right.
Jared Goff. Hey, man, it's kind of cool. People just open. I don't even got to look for him most of the time. Everything's cool. Coach said, count to 3, look to the right, back to the left on 4. Completion. It works. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, again, and I'm not going to knock Mullen. Like, he's a career backup, and it's a cool story. It needs to end here. Burn down the quarterback room. I love James, but, as corny as it is, availability is the skill. You're not out there. Burn the whole room down. And I have nothing against James. I appreciate the run last year. It was great. It's cool, but no, burn the room down. I'm sitting here looking at I'm looking at this offense, and I'm watching other people run the offense with no disrespect to other people in the offense. Less talented people at positions, some of the positions in executing this offense at a high level. And I'm like, shit, I'm looking at Green Bay. I love Aaron Jones. He don't got Raheem speed. I like Robert Tonyan. That ain't George Kittle. The only one in Green Bay, Devontae Adams, he's better than everything in the Bay. All right, that's Tay. That's the only thing that's different than everywhere else. Devontae's better than
he's different. Period.
He's different, right? So that's the one thing where I'm like, oh, that's different. And then the other thing in Green Bay, this is why it works there. You have one of the quarterbacks at the very top of the league running your offense with one of the very best wide receivers. It works. There's a bunch of stuff they don't have, but you have a monopoly on the most important position, and then he's throwing to one of the guys who just stays open. It works. And then all the other pieces, they just fit. So it's like all I keep seeing every week is just like, man, if we had a quarterback. Man, if there was a quarterback. Oh, wow, if there was a quarterback every single week. You're talking about with Rager and Philly and things like that. It pains me even a little bit more because like with Rager, at least you guys be like, man, I wish we could see what it looks like if you use them correctly. I could see what it looks like, but the ball can't get to him ever. It's like the worst teams in the world. You're just watching people win their matchup. Trey White is a very good corner. Dude was beating Trey White off press coverage. Ball couldn't get there. That's Trey White. And I'm supposed to be like, oh man, he threw for 400. It's cool. Nah, dude, you had a false start on a QB sneak. Then you look, and then you followed it up. You go empty. It's like what I think they had like the 3 or whatever, right? You go empty for whatever reason. The Bills didn't even change their matchups. They got Jeff Wilson Jr. He started out. He was the far right wide receiver in the empty set. He's on Trey White. You broke the pocket, all this other stuff. If Trey White's on the running back, are you targeting the running back?
Mm-hmm.
Trey White is on the running back. That means there's 4 other options that are not Trey White. What are you doing? And folks, it's like, oh man, he's doing a good job. No, it's horrible. It is. They are murdering a very good offense. So yeah, I'm just here to wait till this year gets by. I love both picks from last year. I love Kinlaw. I mean, like love. I know some people think, if defensive tackles aren't getting sacks, then they have no purpose in life. He was one of the reasons Josh Allen had to keep moving because they were doubling him. Didn't matter. He's pushing the guard back into where Josh Allen was supposed to be. That's why Josh kept moving. Armstead moving people. And that's the other thing. Like, I keep saying people get mad at Armstead. Last year, he ate because on 3rd down, he rushed from inside. He hasn't been able to rush from inside all year because the edges are dead. You're asking a 290-pound man to play 50 snaps at defensive end. And mad that he ain't got enough gas to go chase the quarterback. He's not supposed to be out there. Sir, his job is to set the edge in the run game, slide inside, and go enjoy life. He ain't been able to go inside for however many games there are. He looking over there, one of the no tackles like, man, I'd love to be over there. Look, y'all doubling the baby. That mean I be getting one-on-ones. Like, instead I'm out here watching. Hey, look, it's me. So yeah, I'm just ready for a new quarterback, man. You know, but we'll have a show eventually where we get to talk about quarterbacks. But yeah, I'm just ready for that because I'm over it. I want L's the whole way back, and I think Nick's gonna deliver.
not before Maserati, baby. No.
Hey, I got more faith in Nick. He's gonna deliver. He delivers L's, sir.
This is not the way this is supposed to go. We are not supposed to be having a conversation on who's got the
look.
quarterback.
I hear you, and that's great. We're here now. It is what
we
it
are here now. So let's ride the wave.
No, I'm ready for it to end. I see an out. You can cut people. We don't got to see them ever again. Just let them go. I don't know what you guys can do, but you can just literally be like, thank you for your services. Bye.
Move on.
Yeah.
You know?
The bad thing is all of our fans are the type that if we win one game, they back talking they back talking playoffs again. That's
if Jalen Hurts wins this next game, all of Philadelphia is going to fall off of the map into its own territory. They're going to name themselves a whole different place and say that this is the best situation and the best quarterback to ever play football.
But
if you lose the next game, then the city burns down.
Don't forget this important caveat, though. If Jalen does well the rest of the season, you got to remember this. Carson, despite his leverage dropping, is still worth a first-round pick, no matter how much trash we say about him.
Yeah.
Remember that. That's the caveat. It's not true, but that's the caveat. It's not true at all. I know my guy hate this guy. He stinks. Replace him. Nah, dude. I need a first for him.
That's how they know. That's how bad they trying to get him up out of there. They know that somebody they'll do it. Ask for the first.
Well, they got one for Bradford, so I mean they were just like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Look, you can start at a 1. You will end up getting a 4.
Is there any other good football on this weekend? We can talk.
Right?
We're going to try to get to it. All right, we got some games up. We got the Broncos Panthers. You said good football, so I'm sorry. Broncos Panthers. That's I didn't mean to start there, but goodness, that's tough.
Who's playing receiver? I swear they got the same receiver room as the Broncos had the quarterback room. It's the same thing. Like they must have all been hanging out with each other, throwing footballs to each other, whatever the case may have been, because they all just did the same thing. So I think we're going to see at receiver, I don't know, some dude that once played receiver once in his entire life, and he's a staffer. So I don't know. Maybe him and Rob Peterson.
So that's what you're going with? All right. I would love to just be like, you're wrong, but
right.
there's a precedent for this. So you guys can choose a winner if you want for that game, or we can move on. So it's up to you guys.
Broncos Panthers. I'm gonna go. Yikes! I'm gonna go Carolina. I just don't trust the quarterback situation in Denver, and I got screwed in fantasy this week because they wouldn't throw it to Mr. Judy. I'm like, dude, he's been killing all season, man. Just throwing the ball. Oh, you guys don't have a quarterback. That's right. Never mind. I'm gonna go with Carolina.
You want to talk about it, Rob? You good?
Nope. I'm already out the playoff league.
Oh wow. Yo, dude.
So, first in my other league though. So, but y'all go ahead.
Thanks for the fantasy league update. We appreciate it. Justin.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers. Just at this point, man, it's like Rob said earlier. It's really like 3 good teams in the league, and just a lot of bad teams. Like with all the bad teams, you're just kind of saying, you know what? Do they play hard? I'm gonna take the team that plays hard. They show up every week. So the Panthers show up every week. I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
All right, Jesse.
Same. I'm actually getting to a point now where it's like with these bad teams, I'm almost here for the jokes. Like it's just at a certain point, it's just it's bad football and just 2 bad teams. I like Teddy Bridgewater, and I honestly I root for him to win games. So it's just that's probably the best. Plus, I think Christian McCaffrey's coming back this week. So.
All right, my fault. Man said I'm just here for the jokes. All right. Sorry.
That's where we are at this point.
I wasn't quite ready for that answer. I'm sorry. Regain my composure here and let the screen load. My goodness. This is taking forever. I think the next game up, what is it, Patriots Rams tomorrow night?
Yeah.
So, wow, Patriots Rams. So you guys liking that one?
I don't. You know what? New England's so weird right now. Cam Newton has 67 yards, but they want. I didn't watch that game, but clearly it wasn't the quarterback that did, but he that put up that 45 points. I did see a blocked field goal for a touchdown and all that, but I can't trust him. Even though it's Belichick, you want to go Belichick can figure it out. I don't think he's gonna figure it out this year. I think this year is dead for them. I'm gonna go with the Rams on this, man. I like that Jared Goff is playing under composure, and it's because of his coaching. Not that I like Jared Goff as a quarterback, Wilson. I'm just making sure that you know. I want those players about Rob chose Jared Goff over everybody. Like, nah, man. You put it out there.
My goodness. I didn't even say anything. Like
I've known you long enough.
I wasn't even gonna mess with you, man.
I like what the Rams are doing. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Man, I got attacked. I didn't even do anything. God.
That was funny.
But yeah, Rams Patriots for you guys. Y'all got it.
Want to go, Walters?
Yeah. You know what? My new thing now is if Flores plays a team and then Belichick plays a team, they're gonna shut him out. So Flores puts the game plan out, and Belichick come back the next week, and he's gonna watch that game plan and fake some of the same stuff. And like Rob said, though, my concern is can Cam get you 14 points? You know, and will they let Cam get them 14 points? But I think between Goff turning the ball over, but you know what? Here's where it gets funny for me is if McVay watched, because McVay's copying Shanahan. So if McVay watched what Shanahan did to the Patriots versus Belichick watching what Flores did to Goff. So I'm going to go with Belichick shutting down the Rams, Goff turning over a few times, and winning a nice, he'll score 20, maybe block a punt or 2, something. Cam would throw for 77 yards, and we pull this out.
That's what I was waiting on right there.
A couple misdirections, they'll make it happen.
Just,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Well, it's funny because I was just about to say, you know what Bill Belichick does with rookie quarterbacks, and that we should expect the same thing this weekend. But just his logic just turned my whole, the whole idea ahead of that. That actually makes total sense, and it probably could happen. And Cam will throw for 88 yards and rush for 100. So and it goes back to what Rob said. I don't understand where those points came from that last game. I'm trying to, in my head, think, okay, there's a return block, there was a return. I'm trying to figure out where all those points came from. It's like he keep having stuff in his pocket, he just kept pulling out, and I'm just like, where's that coming from? 45 nothing just happened, and I can't account for it. So that's probably going to be the same thing this week. I don't know.
Did Cam have a couple rushing touchdowns or something that we missed?
Nah. With they had a little white dude. Didn't he run 2 punts back?
Yeah.
And then they remember the field goal before the half. McCourty picked it up and went 80 yards for touchdown. I think they blocked the punt. It was still. I mean, he passed for 65 yards. So that's insane.
Oh no. Cam had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Okay. How many rushing yards?
48. 14 carries for 48 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. It's a saying that I was puzzled. I said I got to go back and look at these stats, man. This don't even make sense.
No.
I don't know that math.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can throw 57 yards and don't throw a touchdown and have 45 points. Like these special teams defense did everything, but Cam ran in for 2, so that makes a little bit more sense now.
Because it did look like ta-da.
Yeah, it's where's coming from?
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all are killing me right now.
Okay.
Killing me right now. My man literally came up with the greatest answer ever. He was like, essentially, depends on who copied off whose test better.
Right.
Who's the best? Who's the better copier here? And yeah, I'm gonna rock with the Brian Flores, Bill Belichick duo there. It's gonna. I heard they used to work together. So yeah. And now that might be a theme I'm gonna continue to look on for as long as they're both coaching at their respective spots, because that's disturbing. Bill's over there like, whoever's new defense coordinator, doesn't even matter. What my good guy do? What did Brian do? Yeah, I heard what you said, but not. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Watch this. What Brian did. Get as close as you can to that. Yeah, I just don't trust Jared Goff for personal reasons. So yeah.
See, I'm glad I put my little disclaimer on there, like I did, because I knew he was coming there.
I wasn't even gonna mess with you, man. I told you I think I had like one smart thing to say to you like back when Mitch got drafted. I've left you alone, sir. So like the damage was done. There's nothing I could say that does more than that pick in 4 years. Nothing. It's gonna be a stain on your franchise forever on. Cowboys and Bengals, Justin.
Well, apparently, I'm thinking this might be the game that gets us going back towards the playoffs, according to our fan base.
Right.
You know, probably pull this one off. I think the Bengals quarterback got hurt last week, so not that it mattered. But now they're on the 3rd string. Man, dang. Dallas is gonna win, but they're gonna mess up everything. They're gonna mess up everything, and be a half game out of first after this week. So.
I have no idea with that.
Who started their quarterback for the Bengals then?
Finley.
You know?
Finley.
Is it Finley?
Yeah, because Allen got hurt last week.
It really sways my decision. I think Dallas I think they will end up winning this game. If you're down your 3rd string quarterback, man, and they were already bad. It's hard enough to win. You don't have it's going to be too much for them to handle. But Dallas has this thing they do that makes me so irritated. Where they do is like everything is in your corner. You got it. All you got to do is go out there, stick to the game plan. You'll be fine. They're gonna find a way to muck it up. Mm-hmm. I really think Dallas is gonna find a way to muck it up. I'm gonna choose them to win this game, but if they don't win, it would not surprise me. Sorry,
Jesse.
this is the game, where all of a sudden Dallas' defense looks dominant and everybody starts saying, "See, we're good, we're fine." But
all we had to do was
right. It was just see, all we had to do was this, and we're totally fine. Not realizing the dude across the field is literally the last guy you want on the field. So I think they go through. I think they win. I think they win. I think they win strictly off the fact that nobody in Dallas wants to hear Stephen A. Smith's mouth. I think strictly off of that, if they're not going to do it. But I just honestly think this is a get right game for that Dallas defense. They look good, and so yeah, I think they win pretty handily.
All right, Packers and Lions. We have no takers. Packers.
Wow, Lions got 5 wins.
They do.
So
I'm so glad Justin said that because I was looking at that for a second. Like,
I was like, "What is that record?
Is that right?"
Actually, not to be funny, they had 2 games they should have won that they just Lions.
Yeah.
So
no, that's the guy's honest truth. They should have beat us the first time around.
Yeah.
They really dropped it in the back of the end zone.
They be 75.
I was looking at those records. I was like, "Yo, we got 2 good teams playing."
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Packers. No, nothing else to say.
I'm gonna go with the Packers too. I think it'll be a tougher game. I don't know. Those divisional games are always kind of tough. Plus, the Lions just don't die. Like they find life somehow, some way. They can just continue to come back. And Matthew Stafford has a lot to do with that. I got to give him credit. I've been watching this dude play for a while now. He just don't lay down, man. He just keeps going, man. He's got that energy, and it'll be closer than what a lot of people think. But I think the Packers still will end up winning that game.
Same. I just honestly think, and I don't know if Okuda's going to play this week. Galladay may be out, so Marvin Jones. As much as I like him as a person, I can't trust him in his play. He's up, he's down. Last week he looked great. This week, you never know. So I don't know. Their Packers are pretty good against tight ends, so that's going to be a problem too. So I think that the Packers are going to win.
Yeah, the only reason I even care about that game is to watch one of my potential future quarterback targets. Rescue Matt Stafford. Give him a chance to play for purpose. And I want to watch, hopefully Kyle has time to watch that one. See, so it's always fun to watch someone throw the ball downfield on purpose accurately. I'm not used to seeing it. So, just there to enjoy it. People get open, ball gets thrown. People don't have to twist and turn to find said ball because there's enough juice on the ball to actually get where it's supposed to go. And you can hit them in stride, like more than 20 or 30, gosh, even 40 yards downfield. Exciting. Titans and Jaguars.
Tennessee.
Cool. Move on. This should be an actual good one. Here we go, an actual good game. Chiefs and Dolphins. Obviously everybody loves Kansas City in any matchup, but I'm interested to see what Brian Flores cooks up to mess with them because this is a matchup with some heavy duty coaching power on both sides. Brilliant defensive mind, and Andy Reid, man, he always coming up with something new and all the weapons they got over there. Miami got some corners and stuff. It should be fun. Like Miami's no longer a pushover, and they get to go into this upcoming draft and go get one of the wide receivers he's very familiar with. So shout out to Miami for doing this right.
Finally.
They got it right. I can't say anything. Tua can also throw the ball downfield.
That's the thing. I think the Chiefs don't make one play that just because they got that guy quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But NFL, if you're listening, listen. Flex this game to the night game. I understand. I get it. I get who you have at the night, and I totally understand that. But you have to understand, we want to see this at night. I do not want to have anything bother this game. So put this on at the night game because literally this is going to be a chess match. And I'm so interested in seeing what both sides. Like Miami actually has great corners and a great coach, and you have that versus 4 fast dudes on the other side of the field who actually are really good route runners too. So just to have that kind of dynamic in that game, I really want to see that, and it's gonna be great. But I think having Mahomes the quarterback makes that one extra throw that the Chiefs need to win the game.
Nobody else, Chiefs, Dolphins?
You got it, Rob? Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, my bad. I was trying to. I want to choose Miami just because
Don't be
I like
scared.
Florida, man.
Choose them.
Because it's kind of dumb, dude. Kansas City still they only have one loss in their record for a reason, But at the same time, I don't know. This is gonna be I think this is gonna be a test, man. Just because of what Brian Flores is doing, everything that Jesse just said, man. The defense is playing good. It's just the team is just they're better than what they have been in the past. So it's not an easy pick. But I really just can't go against Mahomes. Like homeboy doing his thing, man, and he's gonna continue to do his thing. Like he will not be able to be stopped. I don't think they're not gonna figure it out. At least not this week. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs.
Well, I have a rule. I have a rule about this. Nah. As I said earlier, the only person that has the ability to has slowed Mahomes down has been Bill. And who was on Bill's staff? Flores.
Yeah.
I seen an interview. Saw an interview with Flores today, and he just had this look like, kind of like he was like just really like sneaky confidence. Like we'll see what we can do against these guys. They're unstoppable. They're asking him like, how you gonna stop Tyreek Hill? He's like, well, how are we gonna stop Sammy Watkins? How are we gonna stop this guy? So I'm getting that Rams Patriots vibe. Remember when the Patriots played the Rams in a close game and then beat them? It's just something is there. Like I don't. They could easily lose this game 45-7, but I just feel like he has a plan, and the difference is they're gonna have to come out and unleash Tua early. Like you're not gonna be able to play that tight run and bootleg. Like they're gonna have to go after him. If they run that same, only throw across the middle, Honey Badger's gonna make a play. They just gotta come out and they gotta get after him. And Mahomes is gonna make some mistakes. They're gonna put some pressure on him. I think it's gonna be a good game, and I'm gonna go with Miami. I'm gonna trust Flores. They need this game for the playoffs, and the Chiefs do play around a little too much. So, you'll let them hang around against a well coached team. Maybe some special teams get involved, and Miami's gonna pull it off.
The Chiefs definitely like to play with their food. They do.
We got the tight end throwing the ball at the goal line.
Like for what?
Yeah.
All I know is this is the week for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Week for it.
It might not win, but they might get somebody hurt playing around. That's
not only that. Just what bothers me is this. A lot of teams would love to go. Play. Oh man, we're going to press man against the Chiefs. But you don't got the personnel for it.
Right.
The Dolphins finna go press man and be like, yeah, we're here.
right.
Yep, we're comfortable.
Yep.
That's what we paid both of these corners for. We're here for all of the smoke. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Safety's over the top, like, yeah, I'm here if you need me. Oh.
I'll be back here.
They drafted like 3 nickels because they knew somebody got to be good. They got 2 nickels.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even mad at it. All right, next one we got Cardinals Giants. Talking about good defensive coaching. The Giants did a number last week on Seattle.
Yeah.
And Justin, conversation we had literally the other day, talking about the what's the best or nicest way to say this? The lack of innovation or just the trash play calling by the Seahawks. Like they got so many good weapons. And their offense makes no sense ever. It never ever feels like something's done for a specific reason. It's literally somebody like someone has a bingo card. This play, that play, this play. Like you're playing the Giants, clearly they wanted to take away the passing game. You have a bunch of running backs that people don't like tackling. Just run the ball, dude. It's gonna be fine. Instead, you're like, oh man, we're gonna throw into this crazy defense. Why?
Right.
You don't have to. They dared you to just do something smart, and you just couldn't, and then you lost to the Giants. That could speak volumes. But then the Cardinals, they've been in like a free for all. They're going through things right now where, early on it was fun, and Kyler and D-Hop, and they were bothering people, and everything was wonderful. And as of late, they're looking like the Cardinals again. With what it looks like in their division and what the playoff race looks like in the NFC, they can't afford to lose any more games. They just honestly can't. For if they want to make the playoffs, you got teams in the NFC East again. Like if the Giants can get this win, this is like killing two birds with one stone here. If you're New York, not only do you get closer to 500, you give the Cardinals the same record as you. If y'all end up with the same record later on, you get the tiebreaker, and your division doesn't look like their division. So, Cardinals can't lose this game. But you guys' thoughts on this one?
Yeah, same. I mean, it's way too much for them not to. If they lose this game, there's way too much at stake at this point for them to do that. Plus, for them to look this bad, but like I said, the offense slowed down. It just the things that worked for them earlier in the season are no longer working for them. And the problem you're having with this coach right now is that situation of, okay, can we make the adjustments? But what adjustments are you going to make with this personnel? So it worked, but now I don't know. It's to start separating now your elite coaches from just your average, everyday, decent coaches. And it's going to show, especially this time of year. So the Giants are the best team in the NFC East, which, I mean, it's not saying a lot, but at the same time, they still look a lot better than the rest of the teams in the division. So they can easily win this. Matter of fact, I think they do win this game.
It's funny. It's funny that you said that because the Giants are the best team in the NFC East, and they don't have the best back on the roster right now. Like they found something inside. Those players found something inside them to say, "Hey, man, we're gonna keep playing." And they realized they had an opportunity once they saw how the division panned out at the beginning of the season. They said, "Hey, we not out. We actually can still play." They lost. I mean, I'm sorry, they won last week without Jones, didn't they? Jones didn't play last week.
Cool.
So I mean, and the way, like you said, the Cardinals are trending downward. They're trending the wrong way. And I think Kyler may be hurt. I don't think he's healthy, man. Like, he took a hit a couple weeks ago. I was watching that game. I think it was the game after he threw the Hail Mary to D-Hop. I think it was the very next game he took a hit. And when he got up, he just did not look the same since then. And he don't look comfortable right now. Like, the offense don't look comfortable right now. So I don't really have a whole lot of faith in what they're doing at this point in time. I don't know if it's, like I said, because if it's a health thing or whatnot, but I do have more faith in the Giants and what they're doing. And the fact that they're winning these games with, second, third string guys, it says a lot, man. It says a lot about what the coaching has brought into that locker room and the adjustments, Matt Nagy, you listening, the adjustments they made with the personnel they have, Matt Nagy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and choose the Giants on this one, Matt Nagy.
Word of the day: adjustments.
Adjustments.
Justin, did you go already?
I don't think I have it in me to pick Colt McCoy over Kyler Murray in a football game.
That's
But
fine.
it's just the Cardinals aren't really a good what they were doing early was a lot of smoke. It's a dependence on one man. Like, as good as Murray is, Murray and Hopkins don't have their connection. Like Watson and Watson and not Watkins. I keep saying Watkins. Watson and Hopkins. It's a lot on Kyler. And you're asking the man to do way too much. The coach not working with him. And some of these teams like the Giants, who are well coached and disciplined defenses, they're going to take stuff away. They're going to put that. They're not letting Kyler beat you. And is Kingsbury going to make the adjustments to win this game? So the Giants play hard and they compete and they play defense. So Giants are going to pull this off.
All right. on to the Vikings and the Buccaneers. This is another one with potential playoff implications. Obviously, different divisions, but with the extra playoff spot this year, possibly an extra 2 playoff spots this year. If because we never know, the NFL changes stuff every 10 seconds.
Right.
But we know legitimately there's 7 teams in the playoffs now inside. The Vikings win this one. That's a big step in the right direction for them.
Right.
Especially, you're not going to overtake Green Bay. But as far as the NFC goes, it puts you a step closer to, securing a playoff spot. I just don't trust Tampa Bay for anything in this world. I also don't trust Kirk Cousins. So I'm just going to fall back and let y'all talk. So, yeah.
Well, I'll start. My only hope is that they don't flex this game into Fox like they do every Buccaneers game and take over the game you want to watch. Put it on every channel in Connecticut. Every channel in Connecticut got a Buccaneer game on. So, but not type of game the Buccaneers look good. The Vikings are fake. Secondary's young. It's just a young team. I think the Buccaneers will beat up on them and get the confidence back up against an inferior team, because that's what they do. Bully the bad teams.
I can see that. I'm with Justin on this. I don't want to see Tom Brady again on Sunday. I'm just tired of seeing him, man. Every Sunday he's on TV, and I'm going, dude, I don't live in the South. I live in the Midwest. Can I get the man played over here? Like, what's going on right now? But I don't trust Kirk Cousins at all. Like, period. So I'm choosing against him just because of that reason. Period. Tampa Bay got it.
Jesse.
You think Justin's playing? Literally every week, Justin texts with the same thing every Sunday about Fox. Like that Tom Brady game, and it's literally because he just played New England, and we just for some reason still hold on to him.
Right.
The most surprising thing that come out of the Minnesota game, or the surprising stat to me, is that Kirk Cousins is 32 years old. You can't tell me he's not 40. Like, there's no way in the world he moves like he's 40 years old. Like, it's just right. That is the most surprising thing to come out of this game. He is 32 years old. So and I don't trust him in the least bit. I'm honestly hoping that the Tampa Bay defense wakes up and does something with this. And I want to see Kendrick. Hopefully, he is back in the game. He's fine. He's healthy. Because I think he's a supremely talented linebacker for the Vikings. But I still think that somehow Tampa pulls this off.
Yeah, I'm just here for Justin Jefferson. I care not for the outcome. I also won't be watching to see Justin Jefferson. I'll wait till after.
Him and Dalvin Cook. Those are the only people I want to see play. That's it.
I don't need
Right.
Let's hear from Justin. That lost me. Sorry. We were done after Florida State, buddy. We had to get it. We had to get it. Nah. We're gonna talk about.
Who said nah? I'm good.
It hasn't done enough for me to discuss. Just Colts, Raiders. Got Phillip Rivers leg Colts. It's like, nah, that defense got them at 8-4. We got the Raiders, who you talk about people with records that you don't really think of. Even when you see it, you got to triple check it. Gruden and company is 7-5, man. And at least, Jesse, you mentioned earlier we were looking at some of the trash games, talking about where the good games at. Look, we got a trash game after this one that we're not going to acknowledge, but this one looks to be a promising matchup on the day. How you guys feel about Oakland and Indianapolis?
I like not Oakland, Vegas.
Oh, yeah, same difference. I don't care.
But no, I like Vegas matchup. Although I think that defense for the Colts, they've been good all season, man, and that's why they're 8-4 right now. It's not because of Phillip Rivers. Not because of Phillip Rivers. I repeat, it's not because of Phillip Rivers. It's not the defense. But I'm gonna get an edge to the Raiders, man. I like what they're doing. They're pretty hot right now, and I don't know what Gruden did. I don't know what they're doing in that locker room. They figured something out. Derek Carr looked good last week, actually. So I think they're going to ride their wave and continue on with it.
Justin?
I'm not going with the Raiders. Just off the strength that they should have lost to the Jets. We went from where they should have beat the Chiefs a couple weeks ago to getting blown out by the Falcons to that extreme struggle, like where people may say the Jets may have thrown that game. I just can't. I think they've had COVID run through, go through their whole team. The Raiders they've been weird, where they've been up and down, and the linemen been out, and different situations, and the defense is bad. So I don't like to trust Phillip either. But like you said, that defense, I'm gonna go with that defense, and maybe T.Y. Hilton or somebody make a play.
But they gotta have Rivers getting the ball. So you sure you want to do that? Hey, remember, Rivers. It's not because of Rivers.
You good, Rob? You got that out your system?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. It's not because of Rivers. Okay.
Got it.
Just want to make sure it's clear. That's just
for everybody. Yeah.
And it's not because of Rivers. Got it. Got it. All right. I think the next thing we have was the Jets and the Seahawks. So, yeah. Falcons, Chargers. Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Did y'all not see the way the Seahawks played last week? I'm sorry. Where you go?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
That's awful.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll be a fun game for those who get it. Keep scrolling here. All right. We got the Eagles and the Saints. Jalen making his first start like we were talking about earlier. So, Jesse, you can lead off. How do you feel, man?
I don't know. It's one of those. It feels like a restaurant just opened up in my area that I really want to kind of go to, but I'm not quite sure of the food yet. So it's like I'm really hoping that this actually works out. Like I really do. I hope this is actually something that it fits. It feels like the different situation that could be better, but it's not the answer. So I think the Eagles pull it off. See, I did this.
Oh.
I think the Eagles pull it off. Because simple fact of the matter being, Taysom Hill's going to have to be a quarterback. Like this isn't going to be a situation where he's just running the ball. He's going to have to be a quarterback, and I'm not quite sure if that 10-2 record just doesn't feel real to me. So I think they actually do pull it off this week. It's going to be weird in Philadelphia. I will be nowhere near there. So I think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
All right, Justin.
Oof. That, like you said, that 10-2 makes it scary. Like seeing it, it's just like, how is this 10-2 team going to lose to the Eagles? But Taysom Hill is equalized. He's going to equal. And I mean, I've been waiting for the Eagles to make this run every for the last maybe 6-7 weeks because they always find a way to flip it around. But this is not this year, man. It's just they just bad. I mean, they kind of give you a little hope sometimes. Like last week, they got some stops, but I just, like you said, I don't trust the coaching staff to make the adjustments. Like they've been exposed out of anyone more than the players. The coaches have been exposed that they're not doing their job, and that's scary especially against Peyton. And I mean, Sean Payton's a great coach. He finds a way to get it done, and the defense has been playing better. And you can't trust the Eagles staff to attack the right way. As much as I think the Saints are not, I don't say they're soft, but they're beatable. They're a beatable team. I just don't think this is the team that's going to do it. So I'm going to go with the Saints.
Rob.
We need a sound bite every time the Saints come up. Just they are arrived, but they're not real. I don't believe I don't believe in the Saints to be the big dogs in the playoffs. But Philly is they're in a struggling spot right now, and I love Hurts. I want him to get that job, I want him to succeed and all that, but I think it'll be tough him coming out in this game against New Orleans because New Orleans, actually, you know what? They already clinched, so they might be on cruise control. This actually might be a good way for the Eagles to get that fourth win and get half a game out of first place. Actually, they can be working for that win. Damn, that just kind of changed things.
Trap game.
I'm gonna go with Philly. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts and Philly, man. Say that.
Don't let me poison you. This is a bad situation. This is not good. This is me over here drinking Mad Dog 2020. Don't come over here.
I just thought about it, man. They might New Orleans really might be on cruise control right now. They've already clinched. They're in a good spot, man. Jalen Hurts might come out and actually throw all over them dudes.
They want home. They going home field. They want home field now, so they could lose in the dome in the playoffs. And blame the refs. Go ahead.
We'll be inside.
Like every year.
Yeah.
The only reason I can't choose the Eagles is Sean Payton at least knows how to use whatever he has, regardless of who's under center. Doug Peterson, it'd be a first if you pull this off, sir. Still not gonna change how I feel about you, but also, sir, it behooves you to get to do something. You're auditioning for your job. It's hard for me to believe that they're going to get rid of somebody they're owed all the money to, or a coach. Wish you the best. All the money, just the coach. We got the Washington football team and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going with the Washington football team simply because their D-line is healthy. And there's a McGlinchey, McKivitz, and the Brunskill, and whichever Washington defensive players on that line up to the right of San Francisco's offensive line. I'm talking about career days could be at hand. It's up to them. The opportunity is there. It's on you. It's Jonathan Allen, 3-sack day, brother. Ron Payne, 3-sack day, brother. Montez and Chase, y'all can take turns. You can go battle Trent and Lakin, or you can come over to the right side and just it's all you can eat buffet. Free shots. It's real simple. You remember what was the last year? Alabama receivers doing rock, paper, scissors to decide who got the deep route. Why is the defensive line gonna be over there doing rock, paper, scissors? Who's attacking the right side of the line? Who gets the line up over there? You got the path of no resistance or Trent and Lakin. Look, man, I feel like it's kind of simple. So keep it a buck. You got somebody who should have been picked in the first round, went to the good school, resume checked out, got him somewhere left. Must be nice. But whole right side of the line, trash. And you better not let Nick Mullins beat you. Don't let that happen.
He said they were waiting to get in like double dutch.
Nah, because a double dutch, you have to wait to get in. You don't have to wait. Wait. You don't gotta wait. Did you see what the Bills defensive line was doing?
Yeah, I did.
You talk about wait. You talk about wait.
Wait to take a turn to get in, man. That's it.
Why do you have to wait?
Because you can't play 12 guys at a time.
Aaron Donald Ram defensive line say what? What's the total? What's the dude that was the bear? Leonard Floyd, right? He likes the right side of her line. My man ain't got a pass rush move to his name.
No.
He was just in the backfield chilling. Hey Nick, how you doing? Hey he. How's the wife?
How's the wife?
My man got drafted and ain't win but like 3 1-on-1s his entire Bears career. Played us and was in the backfield. Yes, Chase Young and company about to have fun.
Yeah, they about to eat. They about to eat.
Yeah.
I'm going with Washington on this one too. That defensive line, man. That front seven is just ridiculous, bro.
No, it's just the line. The front. No.
Oh man, Bostic.
Them three linebackers, they got the front four, and there's a gap. And then there's some people in the secondary. That whole mid-level is
Suspect.
Yeah, but they're feeding off that line.
Are they?
Feeding off the line. Yeah. They got up to your standards. Okay.
Are they? Hey, look, hold on. All I'm saying, if my line was up there destroying worlds like that, my numbers should look kind of decent. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you.
Nate Gary said, if I play behind a line like that, boy, you know what I do.
Still trash. I mean, I'm sorry.
But all jokes aside, I think Washington with the defensive line, it should be fine, man. It's up to them not to mess that up. You shouldn't lose to Nick Mullins, dog. Nothing's going downfield on purpose accurately. You shouldn't mess this up. That's all I got to say. But go ahead, y'all.
No, I mean, I'm with you. It's as little as comes to that front four for Washington. Them playing well and Nick Mullins doing well. So, yeah, I think Washington pulls it off. And weirdly enough, Washington's like rallying around Alex Smith in the weirdest possible way. So I think he makes enough plays to pull it off, but not anything that's going to wow you. So as long as that front four is playing well for Washington, they should win that game.
All Alex got to do is not beat Nick Mullins in the turnover battle, and he good money.
That's it.
That's it. He finna turn this thing over. He is finna give this thing over. It's 3 turnovers come Sunday. It's just if you want the ball or not. It's on you, Washington. It's do you want the ball or not? There's at least 3 of them things with your name on it. Guaranteed. And maybe another false start on the quarterback, because why not? Justin, your thoughts on Nick Mullins and company?
Well, the Nick Mullins-led 49ers.
Yeah. But he's on a list with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, you know what? There's a skill to that. If you fall behind early, it's always garbage time. But
it lasts 4 quarters.
Yeah, but it's hard to pick against the football team in a football game. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Redskins. Just like you said, that front four is dominant. I mean, it's really a below average defense when you take away that 4. But that 4 is just not even really 4. I mean, they probably got 6 or 7 guys that they play on the defensive front that they rotate in that all create pressure. And the battle is going to be what Kyle can do to try to, run the ball, keep him off balance. But the problem is at some point, you do have to put the ball in Nick Mullins' hands, and that's when you lose, in my opinion.
How long are you holding on to that football joint?
That was hilarious.
I can tell Justin was like, I got one for him this week. And that was the one.
I almost hate him for throwing it out there because I was like, why did I think about that earlier?
It was great.
What's it called? All right, we got Steelers Bills. So Jesse, Rob, we'll start with you and then work our way down. Rob, then after you, Jesse and Justin.
Well, I think the Steelers got a little bit of an attitude after last week. I think they're gonna come out firing. They're gonna end up winning this game. I don't think it's gonna be as close as what people may think it might be. I think they're gonna be really upset that they lost last week to the to the football team. They're gonna come out. They're gonna be blasting on Buffalo, man. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh in this one.
All right, Jesse.
Same. I think I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this one too. They actually look relieved to actually have lost this game. It's almost like, like coach was sitting there talking to them during the week, and because they were 11-0, like those young receivers and some of the people in the room just weren't fully taking it in. Like, hey, this could happen to you. You could lose this game. And for it to happen, that becomes a teaching now that you have the team. So it almost feels like they were relieved that they lost that game, but they're going to come back out in this game and I think really put it up. And you're going to see more of the old Josh Allen and the issues that he actually had versus the one that's playing now.
Oof. It's a tough one. Just because I think, like you said, a lot of people are just trying to take that victory lap on Josh Allen right now after the beating he put on the 49ers. But I think, like Jesse was saying, the Steelers needed that loss. Like, I think that's one of those things where they kind of started to get stale. I mean, there's some drives late in the game, and you're like, all they're gonna do is go and get a field goal. And some of those drives were ugly. They don't run the ball anymore. Some of the pass, Ben's just catching the ball and throwing it. Like, it was just a lot of bad plays during that. Hopefully you go back to the drawing board and they regroup and take it out on a good Bills team. The Bills are a good team, but they're the way this year has been, a lot of teams after that big one, they kind of fall back to the pack a little bit. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
Yeah, this is gonna be weird for me. I'm going with the Bills. I think the biggest difference, I know, like you said, everyone's trying to take the victory lap with Josh, and that's fine. I ain't even getting into that. The Steelers have nobody on their roster to deal with Stephon Diggs, and that's what makes the Bills annoying this year. That's the biggest difference. I know Josh has done a better job, but a lot of it's because there's a guy that you have to account for that no one in the league has an answer for him. All right? It's not an answer. And teams know that. So it's great. Like, I know Mika likes to freelance and all that. Y'all don't get caught down in a box. I don't care who's out there at corner.
Yeah.
That's a bomb on your head. Josh Allen ain't the most accurate person in the world. Diggs creates the separation. They ain't got to be pinpoint throws. Diggs does all the work. After that, you just got to put the thing up there. That's it. Because he separates at the highest of levels. So I think that's the biggest thing. If this was last year, I'm taking the Steelers all day because there wasn't a Diggs over there to like counter life. Because with Diggs, he can beat you on all three levels whenever he wants to, just because he feels like it, and it's not up to you. So, that's the thing. We know the Steelers are going to pressure him and do all types of fun stuff. Don't get caught, man. Like, don't leave that dude one-on-one, man. I don't care if it's 1-on-2, don't leave him. Yeah, I'll probably ride with the Bills. And I know this is another one of the things you can't say. You can't talk about, established veteran quarterbacks that have been subpar, Ben. So, yeah, I'm probably going with Josh. Ravens and Browns, the last one before we leave today. Jesse, we'll start with you, then Jesse, then Rob.
Didn't think we'd be at this point where I'd be picking the Browns over the Ravens after the way the Ravens stomped the Browns early in the year. The Browns is playing good football. I think this new coach, Stefanski, I think he's got them just playing their game. He knows what he has at quarterback. This is Nick Chubb's team. This is Kareem Hunt's team, and a decent offensive line, and just keeping everything the way it needs to be. You're not asking Baker to do too much. And right now, the Ravens have an identity crisis. Like, the Ravens, they want to pass, but they can't. They want to run. I can take that back. They're a run team that wants to pass, and they want the quarterback to be someone he's not, and they're not developing the talent the way they want. They're just a miscast. They need to let some people go. Probably the offensive coordinator. So, I'm gonna go with the Browns, just like you said, because they're playing football the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I think Justin hit it on the head. I think both of these teams have an interesting quarterback situation. I think with the Browns, they know what they have in Baker. They kind of know what he can do and what he can't do in the situation. They should put him in. They shouldn't put him in. Like, he looked great last week for a reason, because play calling was really good and it set up perfect for him. I think the same thing with the Ravens. The Ravens are the opposite situation of the Ravens. They want Lamar to be something, but they're not sure how to do it. I think the Cats at offensively for what they could scheme for. I honestly think that somebody else needs to go in there and get a skill set and understand exactly what this team can do. Because right now, like Gus Edwards is doing the plunge. Like, it's just, if that stalls, you just want Lamar to sit back there and pick you apart. There are just some throws he just can't make consistently. So, and that could be that's going to end up being your cap, and that's the thing that holds you back from winning. How you could actually win, and so I just think, and it feels weird to pick Cleveland, but I think they're going to win this game.
Nobody wanted to pick Cleveland. Nobody wanted to pick Cleveland. Even though we looking at them 9-3, we still like,
Yeah.
it's the Browns. But I'm gonna go with Cleveland, man. They're playing really good football right now, and Baker is not the Baker that we all know. He's playing like a good quarterback, believe it or not. I never really had a whole lot of faith in him, but last week's game it showed me, okay, if he stays under control and if they give him a game plan and they stick with that game plan that's specifically for him, they'll be successful. And they're doing it, man. 9-3 for a reason. Like I just can't discount that. And Baltimore, on the other hand, just don't. They're definitely not the team we saw last year. I don't know. Like you said, it's an identity crisis. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they want to do. I know they got a Ferrari sitting in the back right now, and they don't know how to drive it. Like, yeah. And it's pretty sad because I'm like, hey, man, that's a nice car you got. That's a nice toy. You need to figure out how to use it. Like, you can't just leave it in the box like that or try to use it for something else. Like, you can't. It's made for, something in particular. They don't know how to use it, man. It's pretty damn upsetting, man, because Lamar is nice, man. And you got a nice backfield. Like, you got to find that offense is going to fit him.
Right.
Now, there are some things that he still needs to work on as a quarterback. Some throws, he needs to work on accuracy and things like that. But you know what you have, especially this point in the season. We are week 14? Figure it out. Y'all should be able to figure it out by now. That's what you're paid for, making adjustments. Again, it's adjustments. It keeps coming up. I don't know. But I'm going to go.
We need a bell for that word. Every time the word comes, a bell. Ding. It's just like
easy. I'll go with Cleveland, though, man. I don't know if I know. Every time the Browns win, Baker got a new commercial coming out.
Yeah.
Y'all see that? Like they was waiting, just unloading. Boom, here go another commercial plate. Dropping this.
Oh man!
Every time I see those commercials, I want to.
I find it entertaining. They're funny to me, man.
Trying to get it. Trying to get it in, man. Trying to do what he can.
Cash out.
Good for him. I'm probably taking the Browns just because of the gross negligence from an offensive standpoint with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Nuclear weapon. Don't have the codes. Don't know how to purchase the codes. Can't find the codes. Can't get a buyer. Tough situation here. I've seen this story before. Take a really talented quarterback. Say you got to do athletic quarterback stuff instead of letting him play quarterback. And here we go. Ruin yet another one. Good job, Robin. Fun times. Yay. So stupid. Hey, you're athletic. We got to make everything running. No, you don't. Actually, you don't at all.
You really don't.
Like, not even a little bit. Like, you're taking something really nice and you're handcuffing it because your passing game's trash. It hasn't evolved. Doesn't make sense. Still the same stupid stuff it was back in 2012. Only this time the tight end doesn't run a 4-3. And it's not a knock on Mark Andrews. It's not his fault. You keep sending Mark Andrews up the seam. You got a Hollywood, a Miles. Like, I saw Miles Wicken do something the other day, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's great. Y'all do got a 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver who can separate a little bit and get vertical. That is wild. I heard you got Marquise Brown, pretty fast guy. Duvernay, Olympic track speed, decent football player as well. But you can't get a passing game going. Like, this is on Harbaugh, bro. Like, I don't understand why you hired the dude that helped your brother lose a Super Bowl. Don't hire nothing that your brother touched. Your brother's bad at this. He's just horrible at it. He's really bad at it.
That's a fact.
Really, really bad. Like, they get quarterbacks and they just break them. And the other thing, they don't even know what they're good at. They just get them. Got gifted a quarterback. We're going to run the ball. And we're going to run the ball. And we're going to run the ball. Okay, how about this? Play action, top pass to the tight end. Boom. No, bro, what are we doing, man? Come on. We want those. Right. This is the new stuff. I like Doug Peterson. Like, what are we doing? Like, come on, man, it doesn't make any sense. It's literally ridiculous. And people are like, oh man, they need to get wide receivers. No, they need to get an offensive coordinator that understands NFL passing concepts. Like, that's crazy. And again, I get to sit here watching the team I root for with an offense where the quarterback, you just paint by numbers. And we got people that can't hold the brushes.
It's sad, ain't it?
Man, draft day can't come soon enough.
It's depressing. Matter of fact, this
Burn down the quarterback room. This is ridiculous. No, you have a whole Lamar Jackson. You got everything you need. You talk about offenses being able to receiving cores. I think Justin and I were talking about being able to complement each other. You literally have that in Baltimore. How is this different? You got the big, strong possession guy, Miles Boykin. You got your dumb, fast dude that can win outside, Marquise. You got Renee for the slot. You can even interchange the two little dudes. It's really wild. Why is this difficult? And you got to do who eats in the middle of the field, even though the dime he threw to Marquise was outside the hash. I'm gonna shut up. Heard he couldn't do it. How about you? Like, I don't know. Study the passing game. Clearly, you study the run game and it's fun. You can run 70 different versions of power, and that is amazing, sir. Can you please get some adult passing concepts to the Ravens? This is ridiculous. Like, they're literally running the same crap we lost the Super Bowl running. It's literally the same crap.
And that's the problem, is that he hasn't adapted to 2020. like 2012, dog. Like, y'all lost to the team that you're coaching for right now. You may want to make a couple adjustments here and there, because I literally had to look at the roster and go, damn, do they really need receivers? Then I looked, I was like, no. Wait, they got him? Like, how is it that the passing game is so abysmal? Like, that's terrible.
And the craziest part is you got a personnel department that is identifying people for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How are you failing this miserably? Like, the personnel person is trying to help you along. Like, here's a vertical threat. We're gonna go get you another one. Here's a possession guy with an opportunity to do different stuff. We're even gonna look. Now we're gonna take away a tight end. So now you can try to look outside the numbers some more. And he's like, no, we're gonna run the ball. Like, the front office low key was trying to show you they took away a tight end. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. First, they was like, now let's just take this away from you because you're doing too much. Maybe this will help you understand that there's other ways to do this. My man was like, nah.
The front office literally was like, hey, focus. Look.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the weird part about it is, okay, if this team goes 9-7, if they walk into a 9-7 situation at the end of this year, do they actually make a change?
Dude, they shouldn't have came into this year with this dude at the OC.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, all right, so two examples, right? I'm gonna ask you guys this before we leave. So, perfect example, at least to me, it could be wrong to anybody else because I'm weird. So, you got Lamar Jackson's MVP run, right? Was that because of the offensive coordinator or in spite of? You got Matt Ryan's MVP run in spite of the coordinator or because of the offensive coordinator? Just saying.
Yeah.
Dude shouldn't have made it the year too. I'm like, man, that's tough, dog. Like, look, he won an MVP. That's great. You're trash. Fire you. Let me go get someone who can do something more. Like, that is awesome. We got an MVP. That is so amazing. But we got beaten in the playoffs because your passing schemes are garbage. Meanwhile, dude took somebody who was pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Like, pretty solid. And he was hitting the place that we ain't never seen. He was like, oh, everybody looking at Matt Ryan differently. Is you?
Yeah.
That's you? This could be you the whole time? Nah. And it's so bad, even that 1 year done messed it up where Matt's not even doing something really bad right now. It's just the play calling ain't, you know what I'm saying? The relationship, or the play calling, whatever, ain't the same. And now we're looking at the play callers from Matt Ryan like, dog, what you doing? Before the MVP here, we never looked at it like that. Right. Ever since, right? We looking at Sark back at Alabama now, whatever. Like, Hey, dog, Matt Ryan was flying last year. Why is this hard? We saw Turbo Gabriel was eating. Why? I don't get it. Why is this difficult? There's so many weapons. Here comes Calvin Ridley. Hey, I don't get it. Why is it broken?
Right.
Yeah, so I mean,
that's a good point. It's a very good point. I think you just hit that right on the head, man. That's not weird. That sounds logical to me.
hate to be the guy or whatever, but yeah, fire him.
right. I don't want to see him lose his job, but he about to lose his job.
Hey, look. He's fine. In my eyes, he had it for like 8 years too long, so he's good. Wasn't he at Michigan for a little bit too in between? So he was there ruining quarterbacks too. So let him go back to Michigan so he can ruin more. Y'all got a
out of there, man.
Nah, y'all keep khaki pants.
Nah, I don't want khakis. I need some jeans and some dress pants, man.
I heard y'all got a talented young quarterback. It's time to ruin him.
Look, there's another one coming in, but I almost don't want them there because I think they're gonna ruin them.
And that's the thing. It's like it happens constantly. And I'm tired of seeing that same look Harbaugh got on the sideline every time. Like he can put his hands down and he can't see quite what's happening. So he's always got that strained eye look. And I feel, why? Why are you doing this? And what did you just do to this quarterback? Every time I turn around, me and Justin had this conversation. If you can't tell a Michigan fan, me and Justin had this conversation about how they keep ruining these quarterbacks.
He had that face when he called timeout.
Like, dude, you know what happened, man. Stop playing, man. You're not confused. You called the play. Right.
He be legit shocked that the thing that hasn't worked continues to not work. Maybe
all
like
the time. You ran that 4 times the last game alone, and none of those worked. There's not a dude on your staff telling you, "Hey, by the way, this ain't go." You know, this reminds me of like my dad. Every time I turn around, I'm like, "Don't say it to mom no more because that might be a problem." That's like her thing. That's why she's mad at you. Stop saying that. And dad says again, "What? Well, I don't understand that." No, that's the issue. That's the
right.
You keep saying, you keep doing the same thing. Like you keep leaving your shoes on the floor, and mom don't want the shoes on the floor. So stop doing that.
My man Khakis be like, "Let me go get some new shoes to throw on the floor."
And it looks confused as to why it didn't work out. Like just
that's my man's response to it, bro. We switched quarterbacks. My man cooking out the same system as the previous dude, making more plays, and he was like, "Let's go spread." Why?
Why? What are you talking about?
What was wrong with under center and play action? I don't know.
Like
it's always the same look, just the and it looks the coordinator like what? And then his defensive coordinator is like, "Nope, we'll just leave you guys on the island. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You come back. You're fine. Nope, you're fine."
That's how we're gonna end it. Talking about folks that just don't believe in adjustments.
The word of
Man ain't changed his game fitting years. He's not changed. Getting what you're getting.
Harbaugh ain't changed his pants in 20 years. The game plan ain't changed either.
Hey, look, my man ain't changed his fit. Y'all expect adjustments off you? In game?
That's
what's wrong with y'all?
Rob, do the look again. Rob, do the look again, Rob.
Hey, and my favorite part is he still got the pen hanging from his neck that he never uses.
Who uses the pen?
Glasses.
Nah, the joint that kills me is you got a pen at the ready, but you never take notes because you don't make
Because it's the same thing. And if you're taking notes, that means your pen is ink, dog. Like something ain't calculating right.
It gotta be the same pen too. You don't never have to get a new one. Dusty. Like
They've been open in 4 years. He still got the same pen he got when he like this just his brother gave it to him. He just wear it around his neck. Like it's just
he got a drawer full of pens on lanyards. Nope. But we gonna go, man, because I could do this all night.
Yeah.
I'm not mature enough for this. So we'll check back in with you guys next week. Y'all have a great.